couple of minutes where Vegas scored, but when they made it 2-2, you picked it right up again. And it looked like you dominated for the rest of the night. For the most part, you had to be pleased with what you saw.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you win, you're pleased, so we'll start with that. And lots of good efforts. I thought, we went up by 2, and then a momentum swing. We were all of a sudden we're tied 2-2, and felt we responded very well to that, and we're consistent the rest of the way. So, good effort and real good win.
You've talked a lot in recent weeks about the psyche of your team. Is that an example of it? In previous months, maybe that game goes south when it's 2-2, and you guys just played after the 2 goals the same way they played at the start of the game.
Definitely, it is. It's as you mentioned. I've spoken of it many times. Our psyche's in a much better place the last month or so, and you give up. You have a 2-goal lead. Everybody says you blow it because it's now 2-2 or it was 2-2, and that challenges your psyche right there, especially a very capable team that you're playing against. And we had to get the momentum back, and I thought all 4 lines did it. I thought all 6 defensemen did it. We did a nice job, and we didn't score right away. It took a while for Zemgus to score, but what a nice goal that was. And yes, I like that response.
When you have the amount of pace you have in that game, how much of it is just this team is just playing with confidence it didn't really seem to have in November and December, and it creates more pace that way?
Yeah, that pace is definitely for us confidence. When we're tight, we don't have that, and you're usually tight when you're not confident, or don't have that free confidence. So we wanted to play with pace, and I thought we've been doing that better recently, and I thought it was again all 4 lines tonight. I thought our defensemen moved pucks up quick when they had a chance. I mean, there were plenty that we would like to be better at, but yeah, that's a pace that we like.
Two goals. I mean, you spoke somewhat recently about the PK was starting to generate chances, and we saw that last year. What's maybe changed on the PK recently that you guys have been able to create more chances, and Dylan scores tonight early? And so.
Yeah, Dylan specifically is changing the PK. I mean, he is evolving into a just better and better every day, and the penalty kill, more comfortable situations that repeat. He's recognizing faster and picking up on them, and when you do that, you can jump them quicker, you can close out quicker. So lots of little nuances are becoming experience for him, and so it's not as stressful. It's not as stressful a situation as it may have been a couple months ago for Dylan, and now he can jump to some offensive opportunities that sit there. So. Had a lot of presence to score on that second goal and even the first goal. And maybe a couple months ago he's just a little tighter, and now he's not. He's much less.
But for him, playing well doesn't seem to be good enough. He expects to produce. Does a game like this maybe get him going a little bit where he gets a couple of goals like that? That first one is a really hard-working goal because he's played pretty well, but he hasn't been able to produce lately. I know that bugs him.
Yeah, he's produced in the sense of he's been very effective for us. I know he still has points, and he had a power play goal, did he not, a couple games ago, a beautiful goal. So he's steadily producing more, I guess, and his confidence has been high. But there's no question when you score and you score multiple times in a game, it's going to be a boost. There's no better feeling for guys that in a game than scoring goals and winning hockey games, and he prides himself on both of those. So
this has developed into a chippy little rivalry between the two, and obviously trade or individual players notwithstanding. Have you noticed that motivate the guys at all? Because sometimes that could be too much pressure.
Yeah, I think the guys are motivated for they're motivated for the next game. And they're feeling better about their game, their team game, their individual game, and they're showing more excitement about the next game. So, there's some crossover. You had Tuck and Krebs come from that organization. That's gonna be a boost, and there's no question about that. But and then obviously there's every team has its own reputation in this league, and so you get excited to play against each team for different reasons.
How's Cliff been
He looks good. I mean, he doesn't look good, but he looks good. So, yeah, he should be fine for tomorrow. I would expect no different.
What have you seen from Owen Power since he came back from injury?
I think the time away and to take a breath is significantly impacted him in a very positive way. He's playing with more calm, has more presence, and he has looked very, very good and consistently good since his return. I think he's elevated. I don't think he was bad before, the injury, but he has absolutely elevated his game since coming back.
Don, what does it do for the group when Zemgus is making an impact on the forecheck and just playing his game generally?
It does a lot. That's a big part of the game. It helps you wear on the other team. And when Zemgus is going, he puts a lot of pressure on opposing defensemen going back, retrieving pucks, and we get extra zone time, and they've got to go 200 feet to come through 5 guys. And so the importance is puck placements and then pressure on the puck. And those are 2 things he does really well. When he'll chip the puck in himself, but it's in a perfect spot where he can then pressure it. So he has lots of experience at that and very effective, and it's a big part of the game of hockey.